Hello, welcome back. So this part is in continuation to the previous part. So we were discussing about the design specification, and in the previous part I was discussing about the width of lacing bar. In this part, how do we find out lacing bar thickness? So the clause is in the IS code is given. So as per this clause, the thickness of lacing bar uh, should be as follow. So for the if we are using the single lacing bar, then it will be L by 40. Now, what is L? Again, I'm showing. So if this is the lacing bar like this, so this is the length of lacing bar, L. So L by 40 may be taken as, the thickness of lacing bar should be more than this ratio, L by 40. In case if we are using the single lacing system. In case if we are using the double lacing system, it will be more than L by 60. So this is how we find out the thickness of lacing bar. So these are the recommendations which are useful for estimating the thickness and the width of lacing bar. Now coming to the next point, what should be the angle of inclination? What should be the angle of inclination? So again, if these are the bars, then you can see these lacing bars are at some angle. So they are at some angle. So what should be this angle? So this we call as theta. So IS code also recommended the value of theta, which is as per this clause 7.6.4. So as per IS code recommendation, generally the value of theta should not be less than 40 degree, and also it should not be more than 70 degree. Generally, I am telling you, the most favorable angle for theta is 45 degree. Generally, we use 45 degree as the angle of inclination for the lacing bar. So that is the limit given by the IS code. Next, the spacing of the lacing bar. Well, spacing is referring in this case like these are the lacing bars. So they may be like this. So spacing is referred to this one. So this is the spacing. So I'm saying this as L. So spacing value is given, the criteria is given here. So how do we find out this L value? As per IS code, it says that this ratio L by R minimum, it should be equals to 0.47 times of lambda max. It should be equals to 50, whichever is minimum. So this ratio should be the least of, it should be less than from both criteria. So basically, with this ratio, we try to find out the L value. Or if we have already the L value, then we try to satisfy the L value with this value. Now, what is R minimum and what is lambda max, that we will read. So lambda max is the maximum slenderness ratio of the compression member as a whole. So you can see if this is the whole compression member, it will be having its length. So for whole compression member, this will be the lambda value. So slenderness ratio of the whole built up column, that will be lambda max. Similarly, what is the R value? Now R value is the radius of gyration of the individual component. So for example, in this, if we are using two channel section, so in that case, R minimum will be the radius of gyration of this individual channel section. Minimum radius of gyration of this individual channel section, which is which may be RYY or RZZ. Okay, so it will be more clear when we will solve an example. Similarly, L is the distance between centers of the connection. So there you can see this is the L value. RC, as I said, RC minimum is the minimum radius of gyration of the component of compression member. So it is not for the whole component, it is just for a single part, like this one, only this one. So this is a channel section, or it may be any other section. So for individual component, this will be the RC minimum. So we will select that. In the question we will solve an example to explain this. Now coming to the 7th point, attachment to the main member. How do we attach lacing system with the main member? Obviously we have two options, either we connect with the bolt connection or we connect with the welded connection, but still there are some specifications that we have to follow. So as it says, the riveting, bolting or welding of the lacing bars to the main member should be sufficient to transmit the load in the bar. The same exact statement is written in the IS code. So I have simply write down from the IS code. And also it says, in case of welded connection, where welded lacing bars overlap the main member, the amount of lap measured along either edge of the lacing bars shall not be less than the 4 times. Like it says like this. For example, this is the one component and this is the another component. So if we are using the welded connection like this, so this length, it says this length, this overlap should not be less than 4 times the thickness of the lacing bar or the thickness of the main member, whichever is less. Here you can see. So lacing bar shall not be less than the 4 times the thickness of the bar or the member, whichever is less. So so they are talking about this overlap. The welding should be sufficient to transmit the load in the bar and shall in any case be provided along each side of the bar for full length of lap. So we will see that in when we are going to solve the question, we will solve connection also. So I think it will be more clear to you when we will solve that. Now there are some other things also that we have to take care of, like in this it says where lacing bars are fitted between the main member, they shall be connected to each member by fillet weld on each side of the bar or by full penetration butt weld. They are talking about this. If there are two members like this, so sometimes what we do is, see, one way is we provide lacing bar like this and then we weld here. So it will be simply look like a fillet weld. The another way is, the another way of providing this is, another way is if we provide lacing bar like this, which means we are connecting this lacing bar with this member. So here then you can see there will be a penetration, there will be a butt joint directly. So it says here, so it may be fully penetrated butt weld. The lacing bars shall be so placed as to be generally opposite to the flange or stiffening element of the main member. So basically they should be placed so that they should be exactly opposite to each other, and the edges should be prepared so that we can have fully penetration of the welded connections. So this is what they have recommended as per IS code. It will be more clear when we will solve the example. Similarly, in case of the bolted connection, in bolted connection also there may be two types of there are two ways through which we can connect lacing bars. So first way is this one. In this case you can see uh, this lacing bar is having individual force and this bar is having individual force. So how do we find out the number of bolt? In this case it will be number of bolt, in this case will be F by R. R is the rivet value, sorry, the bolt value, and F will be the force in the lacing bar. In this case, when this case is there, in this case you can see two lacing bars are overlapped to each other, which means this force is in continuation to this one. So ultimately what we have to do is, first we have to find out the resultant of the force and then we have to find out the uh, number of the bolts. So in that case it says we have to find out resultant force, and then we have to divide that resultant force with the bolt value. So resultant force in this case will be 2F cos theta. So basically one force is like this, going like this, and the other force is going like this. So in this case the resultant force may be like this. So this will be the R value, and resultant value for this will be 2 times of F cos theta. Okay, so this is how we calculate. Okay, again in this case also the force is resolution is being done to find out the resultant. So all such things we do to find out uh, the required value which is being required. So F is the force in lacing bar, and this one. So we will discuss this in the next part. We will continue, I mean this discussion will be continued in the next part. Thank you.